Actually, I'm by tradition, I'm Christian, and I try to follow as much as I can. I'm not follow like 100%. It's like part of my culture probably, but I hope that is something exists after the death. But I don't know. Christian religion believes in a sky king. All another religions believes in a earth king.
Hello, it's been a while since the last conversation video, but I've just had a great conversation with a Lithuanian man, about my age, and maybe just a little bit younger, but Christian background, just real has interest of kind of making his life good, living a good life, and has an appreciation for God, tries to live his life in a way that's pleasing to God, although maybe needed a reminder of the gospel, which I spoke to him about, and I encouraged him to think of it, to meditate on it, to put his sins and any doubts about how we get into heaven onto the feet of Jesus on the cross. That was my just urging on him. We couldn't finish the conversation. His son came to take him basically home as he was waiting for him to complete playing. But yeah, my wish for him is to just continue looking into these things, to continue looking into God and Jesus Christ, his son, who gave his life for us, and to then order his life in accordance with him, to read the scriptures, and yeah, kind of go from there. That is a good conversation anyway I had. Pray that I maybe would see him, meet with him again. We can continue the conversation. Feels like we're on the same kind of Eastern European wavelength. But anyway, hope you like this conversation. Let me know what you thought, and God bless, and see you in the next video. Bye. Do you have any religion, any faith, any belief?
Actually, I'm by tradition, I'm Christian, and I was reading the Bible, and I know the things which one day try to give to the people from that religion, and I try to follow as much as I can. And that's it. What can I say?
Well, that's interesting. So you have some understanding of the Bible, you have some understanding of the Christian beliefs. How much part of your life is it? Like, do you feel as yourself as this is like you make decisions in your life that are informed by your belief, or is it just something that you think it's maybe just part of your culture?
I'm not follow like 100%. It's like part of my culture probably, but I try to don't do bad things in my life. I try to listen my voice from inside, and when I'm making decisions, I try to remember the main points from the Bible.
Got it. Do you actively still go to church?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that, all right, I don't have nothing against the churches, but I think the nature, this is the most valuable church for the people. You know, you can sit like this on the bench, especially on the darkness when the stars coming through.
Yep.
And speak with the God or with something which one actually we can't understand properly. And that's it for me. Is the nature is the most powerful church than church if I will go there. But I don't have nothing against that. Sure. Sometimes maybe special places have that holy feelings inside the buildings, which one already too old, maybe from the previous centuries, and that's as well the thing which exists in our lives.
I like the way you put it. I also do sometimes the same thing. I like to be outside and just feel and allow the the beauty of the universe to remind me of the Creator. But as you say, also there are sometimes buildings that remind us of the traditions that we stand on, right? Centuries of belief, and people have gone before us that have built these wonderful buildings. I mean, whether they're still used the same way or not is different story, but it shows us that this faith and this religion has been around for a while. A lot of people have staked their lives on it, so that's quite interesting as well. But here's an interesting question, like, what do you think will happen to you when you die? Would it be heaven or hell?
That's a good question, because I'm turned 40s already. I'm 42 years old, and last few years I quite often thinking about this. Maybe that's the level of our life when the men start to think after 40s. The life is so short and time flying so fast. I hope, I will say like this, I hope that is something exists after the death. But I don't know. Because I always try to analyze. I'm not making the 100% statements. I will try to understand, I will try to learn. I like science as well, astronomy and all these things, and I hope that is something exists. I want it,
exist, yeah.
But my another side saying that is after the death is my mind is not going to be the same never again.
You mean like after death there's just darkness and maybe nothingness? Is that what you meant? Sorry.
I mean, there may be if it exists something, this is completely different than I have here.
I see. So something that we cannot easily even begin to understand, kind of how it would be like.
Yeah, okay. And my mind is not going to be the same. That's it. This mind will stay in this reality.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you said, like, let's maybe examine that a little bit further, right? So that's the question, what happens to us after we die. But let's look at it maybe more from a biblical perspective. So I'm not looking at you to sort of like your own personal kind of like anything, personal information, but what does the Bible kind of say to us? Who goes to heaven? Like, who qualifies for heaven versus who is going to go to hell?
The people who making the kindness for our world, for another human. I think the most kindest people have to go, as you said, to the heaven.
People maybe who are generally good, who are kind. People like my Mother Teresa. Maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think like this as well, because only with the love you can go forward, not with the angry mind, not with the negative mood and all these things. Only with the love you can achieve something what is higher than physical things,
Yeah. And I think in our hearts, we would like to. That kind of makes sense, right? We want the good to prevail, the good to be rewarded in heaven, right? So there's some sort of a sense of like doing good now reaches some sort of rewards in heaven. But here's what, for me, was a stark like wake-up call, right? When Jesus says in the Bible, no one is good, not even one. Not even one person is good in the Bible. Those are his words, right? And not only that, but if I think about my own life, right? And I'm not like a murderer or bank robber or rapist or pedophile or anything like that. But if I think about myself, and I compare myself against the 10 Commandments, have I ever lied? Yes, I've lied. Have I ever stolen something, regardless of the value? Yes. Have I obeyed my parents as I should have? No, I've not done that. Have I looked at a woman with lust? Have I coveted something that isn't mine? Yes. And that's just like 5 of the 10 commandments.
Yes.
And I have to say to myself, wow, I'm not maybe as good as I like to think of myself. Like maybe I'm not as bad as the Hitlers and some of the weird
Yeah,
people of this world, but I'm not necessarily the standard of good either. And I think I'm not alone in that thinking. Like a lot of people that I speak to,
definitely yes.
they speak the same thing. So how do we then square the two things together? Like how do we expect still to go to heaven, and yet we carry all of this baggage, all of this sin with us?
Again, a very good question. I don't know why people expect to go to the heaven after all this. How you said that word in English?
Sin or baggage, or so which one?
No, you said it's 5 things.
Commandments. The
Commandments.
5 commandments, yes.
Commandments.
Yes.
Yeah. All of the people have commandments.
Broken.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've not met them. We've broken them. Yeah.
Yeah, we've broken them. Yeah, and I don't know why they're expecting. For example, I will try because when I was much younger, I did quite a lot of bad things. But with the age, I understand. I start to be more wisdom, maybe, yeah. And I try to get that stones back, which one I threw it when I was young. And I'm not expecting that I will go to the heaven, but I hope I can change something in that part of life, which one is left it for me. Now I got kids. I try to teach them. I try to raise them in a good way, and that's it. What I can do. And I will try, and I'm trying actually now, have a look after myself. I try to do some sports, try to do some businesses, and I hope maybe in the future, if I will achieve high level, I will try to help other people as well. I'm helping now my mother and my relatives, but I'm not expecting. I don't know why there are other people expecting, but I'm just trying to do all the best what I can do. That's it.
And that's ultimately what as human beings we can only.
But anyway, I do the mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that I have a plan. Now it's gonna be like this, and then in 6 months' time, I bumped and I do something.
Yeah.
Again, which one? We are humans. I don't know. We are maybe not robots, but I don't know why that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I will try to keep discipline as much as I can.
Yeah, and like I said, no, I'm completely understanding. I mean, the same way, you can only do as human being. You cannot be ever perfect, right? Otherwise, we would be gods ourselves. We would not be human beings. We are inherently by nature fallen, imperfect, however you want to use the words. But here's an interesting thing, right? I'm going to go back to the Bible, right? There's some good news there, right? Up to now, it will be all pretty depressing and bad news if that's Christianity as a religion was all about reminding us how bad we are, and then the only thing that it had to offer to us is some sort of a hope that it'll get better if you as long as you continue to work hard at it, right? That would be number one, not a very positive message. But number two, it would not make any Christianity any different than most of other religions who kind of say similar things, but with similar words, with different words. But there's one thing that makes Christianity very, very different than all of the other religions, and does give us much more than just this sort of vague hope. Right? Do you know what that is? Like, what's the big difference in Christianity?
I will tell you. Very short. By my opinion, maybe it's gonna be a little bit cruel, but I think the Christian religion believes in a sky king. All another religions believes in a earth king.
That's interesting.
That's the thing, because for us it's most important what is going to be after that life. For us is most important the love for another people, for all people on the planet. Another religions caring about only by subjects, maybe by the sections, not for everything. The Christians maybe it's like more global, but it's just my own opinion.
That's very good. I mean, everything you said, I completely agree with. And I just kind of repeat what you said in my own words. You know, the sky king versus earth king. That I never heard it put it that way, but I think is actually quite true, right? We believe in God who cannot be expressed in an image or something that, you know, it's not like we believe in trees. We don't believe in animals. We don't believe in idols. We believe in a God who's above this creation, above this earth, who has created everything. Therefore, he's above it all. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I was going to mention is that what makes Christianity different is that the sky king, you talked about love, right? But here's how we know that he loves us so much. He became one of us, right? So the sky king loved the world so much that he sent his son, Jesus, right? 2,000 years ago. And we're going to be celebrating Easter in about 2 weeks. About 2,000 years ago, God became one of us. He lived our life so that he knows how difficult it is. He was faced with the same temptations, with the same hardships, difficulties, with hunger, with frustration, with pain. He knows what a human life is looking like. And yet the difference about this Jesus was that he never sinned. He never failed to live up to those 10 commandments. But more than that, it's not just that he gives us a good model to live by, someone that we can aspire to and follow, to be like, but he came with a mission, right? He was born ultimately to die on the cross, right? And that is what changes everything, and it changes everything in many, many different ways. I mean, it changes everything to the extent that we change our calendars according to what the time that he left, as the time that he came. We still celebrate those things, but his death on the cross changes everything, because on the cross he said, I come to die as a ransom for many. He came to die to take away those things, the sins that you have done, that I have done. He said, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, I'll pay for it. All of those sins deserve punishment, ultimately. Those are the things that are going to lead us to hell if we have nothing else to pay with, which we don't. But he said, if you give those things to me, I'm paying for those things on the cross. And all I'm asking you to do is to believe, to trust me. And then out of that trust, out of that belief, out of that love, we go on in our lives with lightened loads, lightened burdens, and we do all the things that you've said. We help others. We start loving our parents. We start loving even our enemies and our neighbors. Not because those things are going to be earning our way into heaven. Our ticket has been paid for by the one who has the keys to heaven. He has died for us. He has opened the door for us. He's asking us to do those things out of love for him, so that others would know him as well, so that others would get to know him through us, right?
Yeah.
And that is, no other religion, right, speaks of a God who dares to come down, to become one of us, to live our lives, ultimately to die for us. It speaks of his love. It speaks about how justice, the sin is still paid for. It's not that he's forgotten about it. It's not about just some under the carpet brushed. No, the sin is paid for, the justice is done, and yet love and mercy come together, because that is what he offers us. That is what we call the good news. That's the good news of the Bible, the good news of Christianity. I don't know if you have ever heard it or being reminded of that, but that's wonderful.
Yeah, completely agree with you. opinion as well. Yeah, this makes sense. You know, about 1 month and a half, I went to Egypt, especially to visit the pyramids. I don't know, you've been there?
I've not been there. Now tell me, how was your experience?
It was wow effect. To be honest, you couldn't understand, and I cannot understand how it was built, to be honest, because it says 5,000 years ago the people did this complex, but when you going there and you will see that's makes no sense at all, because you cannot understand completely nothing how it's possible. That's the first thing. This is the first feeling. I went to the pyramids, inside the pyramids, inside the Khufu pyramid, inside all the tunnels, all the complex which one exists inside the Great Pyramid, and it's completely. I don't know how I need to say it in English, but this is like madness, to be honest. And then you start to think, maybe some problems with the history explanations, all these things, and for example in the Bible, nothing about the pyramids, and the Bible, the location of all the things which one the Bible subscribes is actually not far away from that place. But I don't know why the Bible didn't say nothing about the pyramids as well. It's very interesting.
Although it does speak about Egypt, right? It speaks about Pharaoh, and speaks about how the Jews, they were slaves in Egypt for hundreds of years, right? And then Moses took them out, right, of Egypt into the promised land, right? So we know about Egypt, we know about the Pharaoh, we know about the power that Egypt.
Nothing about the pyramids.
But nothing about the pyramids. Interesting, yeah. But this is interesting, right? But maybe the story didn't find those aspects of narrative important. It's a good question. Why pyramids are not included?
That's what I asking myself over there when I was there. I spent there 4 days, and it's like amazing, to be honest. But it's more questions than answers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is maybe one of those life's small or great mysteries that are interesting. But how about like the things that I mentioned to you, right? That idea of, the good news, the gospel. I mean, you've heard this before. Have you? When you were reading sort of the Bible, this idea of God who becomes one of us, who gives his life as a ransom for our sins, is that something you meditate on? Is it something you think about when you think about God? Not just about someone who's distant and unapproachable and unknowable, but someone who actually knows us and wants us to be in a relationship with him.
I think yes. My son coming now.
Oh, that thing with the bicycle. Okay.
He will go home now. Yeah, the question remind me?
Do you sort of meditate and think about God in this sort of personal way? Yeah.
Yes, I'm thinking in a personal way all the time, because I think he's calling me now.
Okay,
I cannot concentrate.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let me close it off here. But no, I really appreciated your time, and the fact that you're thinking about these things. That's encouraging to me. I'm a Christian myself, and I speak to people. Obviously, I don't know where they're coming from, but I ultimately try to share a bit about my story, my experience, and my love for God. Yeah. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. No problem.
All right.
This was a good conversation with you as well.
Thank you
like
so much.
to speak sometimes with the.
And maybe next time I'll see you again, and maybe we'll continue. All right. Thank you so much.